Okay, you're going to need a pencil, a ruler, and a piece of paper. You're going to start by putting a dot in the middle of your paper, just like you did when you made a 1-point perspective room in 8th grade. But then you're going to use your ruler and you're going to draw a horizontal line across the paper that intersects your vanishing points. This is called the horizon line. The horizon line is where your eyes are. So if you're looking straight out, what you see is the horizon line. Anything above the horizon line is taller than you, anything below it is shorter than you. So to draw a road, first connect your ruler to the vanishing point and draw your line down. Then move it over a little bit and draw another line. This is your road that goes all the way back to the vanishing point. Then you're going to add a building. The first building I'm going to add is going to be directly on the road. So I'm going to start with a horizontal line, then vertical lines to make the sides of the building. And you'll notice that the top of my building goes above the horizon line. This is because the building is taller than me. Then another vertical line, and another horizontal line. This rectangle is the side of the building that is facing towards you. I'm going to go ahead and erase the horizon line that's inside the building so it starts to look more solid. Now, I need to connect my corners to the vanishing point, so I'm going to connect the top corner all the way down to the vanishing point. Now, I could do the same with the bottom corner, but it's actually already connected to the vanishing point because I'm drawing it on the road. So, I need to cut off my building so it doesn't go off into infinity. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line and then erase what's left over. Now, I'm not going to erase what's left over at the bottom because remember, that's my road, and my road does go off all the way into the vanishing point. Now, I'm going to add some windows to this side of the building. Anything that is on the side that is facing you is just going to be vertical lines and horizontal lines, no vanishing point lines. So I put a whole bunch of vertical lines, and now I'm going back with my horizontal lines. The same would work if you were doing doors or any other kind of detail on this side of the building. It's just going to be vertical lines and horizontal lines. I'm going to go back with vertical lines on the other side of the windows. And then clean up any little stray edges. Now, to make details on the side of the building that is facing away from you, you're going to use vertical lines and vanishing point lines. So I'm going to start with a vertical line, and I'm going to make this into a little door. So I'm going to add a vanishing point line that goes from the top of my door until where I want it to stop. And then I'm just going to add another vertical line. And then I'm going to add maybe another window over here, so I'm going to start with a vertical line and another one. Then draw my vanishing point lines. And this is the exact same thing I did on the other side of the building, but instead of using horizontal lines for the top and bottom of the windows, I'm using vanishing point lines. And then I'm going back with my vertical lines on the other side. And erase those little messy corners. So all of my lines go to the vanishing point, or they are vertical. Those are the only two types of lines that I have on this side of the building. Now, if I want to add a building that's not directly on the street, it'll be a little bit different. So I'm going to start with my vertical line, And where a lot of people get messed up is they go ahead and they add this to the vanishing point. But that's not what you want to do. Remember, you want to start with a rectangle because that's the side of the building that is facing you. So add your rectangle. And then you're going to do what you did with the top. You're going to go ahead and add that corner all the way down to the vanishing point. But I kind of let it trail off since I know it's not going back that far. And then I'm going to add one on the bottom. We didn't have to do this the first time because it was on the road. So then I'm just going to cut it off with a vertical line. And then I'll erase whatever is left over. Now, again, you'll notice that I didn't make my lines touch the vanishing point. They could if they continued on, but I'm just saving myself a little bit of erasing by making them stop a little bit shorter. Now, I make details the same way. If it's on the side of the building that's facing towards the road, it's going to be vanishing point lines and vertical lines. If it's on the side of the building that is facing me, it's going to be vertical and horizontal. We won't add very many details to this one. Now, I'm going to add a building that is below the vanishing point. So, if it's below the vanishing point, that means I will be able to see the top of the building. This could be a really short building, it could be something like a cardboard box sitting on the sidewalk, or maybe you're in a helicopter and so you can see the top of a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and add a rectangle just like I've been doing. Then I'm going to connect those corners to the vanishing point. Again, I'm not drawing my lines all the way back, you don't have to either. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other top corner since I can now see it. Then I'm going to cut it off with a vertical line, just like I did over here. And then I'm going to use a horizontal line that connects to that vertical line to cut off the top. And then I can erase whatever is left over. Now, the same can be done if I'm drawing something that is above the vanishing point. So maybe if you had something floating. You're going to start with a rectangle that ends above the horizon line. And this would be good if you were making some sort of like sci-fi, futuristic type city with floating buildings. You're just going to draw all of your corners to the vanishing points. And then you're going to do what you did with the one that was below the vanishing points, just in reverse. So a vertical line, and then a horizontal line across the bottom, and then erase whatever is left over. So that's how you start a one-point perspective city. You can also do things like adding in sidewalks, just by adding a third line to the road, and then making horizontal lines. People get confused with this one a lot, and they start making weird diagonal lines. Everything in this city is going to be vertical, horizontal, or vanishing point. So these can't be vertical or vanishing points, so they have to be horizontal. You could add something like a fence to the back if you wanted to, so I'm just going to start with a vertical line. Draw those back to the vanishing points. Notice I stopped at the building because I want my fence to go behind the building. Then I'm just going to put in some vertical lines. And I can go back and put little posts on my fence, whatever I want to do with it.